Your dog is watching you right now. Not in a dramatic way, it's just there, on the floor, tracking the rise and fall of your chest, the rhythm of your breathing, the small sounds your body makes that you stopped noticing years ago. You think it's resting, it's monitoring, and somewhere in that quiet animal attention is a question it can never ask and you can never answer. Does it know you won't always be here? Most people assume the answer is no. A dog lives in the moment, the thinking goes. No concept of time, no concept of death, just an endless present made of meals and walks and the door opening. It's a comforting idea. It's also almost certainly wrong. Let me explain. Start with time because everything else is built on it. The old belief was that dogs have no sense of it at all, that a dog left alone for 10 minutes and a dog left alone for 10 hours experience the same blank waiting. That isn't what the research shows. Dogs greet owners differently depending on how long they've been gone. After longer absences, the greeting is more intense, the affection more urgent. Something in the dog is keeping track, not with clocks, with the slow fade of your scent. This is the part most people never think about. Your dog lives inside your smell. When you leave the house, you leave a cloud of yourself behind, and that cloud decays at a steady, predictable rate. A dog doesn't watch the hours pass, it smells them pass. By the time the scent has thinned to a certain point, the dog has learned. That's roughly when you come home. Your dog is reading time off the air. It knows how long you've been gone because it can smell the size of the hole you left. Now think about what that means for absence. A dog doesn't just notice you're gone, it feels the shape of the gap, measures it, and waits inside it. That behavior tells us something precise. The dog isn't just reacting to a missing scent, it's holding a model of another being, a model that persists after that being disappears. And it's running that model against a world where the being no longer fits. That's not living purely in the moment. That's memory shaped like loss. And dogs don't only grieve other dogs. There are documented cases, more than a few, of dogs who stop eating after their owner dies. Dogs who return every day to a grave, a hospital, a train station, a place the person used to be. The most famous is a dog in Japan who came to the same station every evening for nearly 10 years, waiting for a man who had died at work and would never step off the train again. People love that story because it sounds like loyalty. But look closer and it's something stranger. The dog had a model of the person, tied to a place and a time, and it kept the model alive long after the person was gone. It knew the pattern was broken, it just couldn't accept that the break was permanent. Which brings us to the edge of what science can actually say. Does a dog understand death the way you do? Almost certainly not. The concept of mortality, of a future endpoint that's coming for everyone, including itself, requires a kind of abstract time travel in the mind that we have no evidence dogs perform. Your dog probably cannot sit and contemplate that you will die. It can't picture the future where you're gone the way you can lie awake and picture it. But here's the part that should sit with you. It might not need to. Because what dogs clearly do have is this: an intense attachment to a specific being, a sense of how long that being has been absent, and a capacity to grieve when the absence becomes permanent. Put those three together, and you get something that doesn't have a clean name. The dog may not know you will die, but it is built completely to feel it when you do. And there's evidence the awareness runs closer to the surface than we'd like. Dogs detect illness in humans. They smell changes in our bodies long before we have symptoms, shifts in chemistry tied to disease, to seizures, to drops in blood sugar. Some dogs have alerted to cancers no one had diagnosed yet. So when a person is dying slowly, the dog often knows the body is changing before the family does. It can't name what it's smelling, but it registers that something fundamental about you is shifting, and many dogs respond by refusing to leave the person's side. Think about that. In the final stretch of a long illness, the dog may be the first one in the house to know. So we come back to the question, does your dog know you're going to die one day? In the way you mean it, with calendars and inevitability and the cold knowledge of your own ending, no. It doesn't carry that weight, and there's a small mercy in that. But that's not really the question that matters, is it? The question that matters is whether your dog will feel it. And the answer to that is yes, it will feel the gap open. It will measure the absence the way it measures every absence against the fading of your scent, except this time the scent will thin past the point where you've ever come back and keep thinning into territory the dog has no map for. It will wait at the door. It will return to your spot. It will hold its model of you against a world that no longer contains you, and it will not understand why the pattern broke. We started by asking what your dog understands. The honest answer is that it understands less than we fear and feels more than we'd like. It doesn't know about death, it only knows about you, the presence of you, the smell of you, the shape of the space you fill. And one day that shape will be empty and the dog will keep checking it. Because to a creature built entirely around your return, the idea that you simply won't is not a thought it can think. It can only wait and smell the air and wait. Whether anything in that waiting resembles what you'd call grief or hope, or just the quiet confusion of a pattern that stopped making sense, isn't something your dog will ever be able to tell you. It just keeps its eyes on your chest, rising and falling, and stays